Hey, what's up guys? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to bring you a quick update on some things happening in the cryptocurrency community. Now before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button just as well. Alright guys, as you can see, it is January 27th, 2018, and we're currently sitting on a market cap of just over $575 billion. And if you've been paying attention to the graphs, guys, within the last 24 hours, basically we're starting to see another sea of green, which is great because this shows a little bit of momentum driving back into the entire market cap, especially after we've heard, a lot of the negative news that have recently come out, and also some speculative news coming out regarding like Bitcoin futures. Now, some of these coins here in the graph, guys, are actually doing, obviously better than others. Ethereum being one of those, as an example. Cardano is definitely trying to be that way. Some sell-offs here and there, but of course they are starting to make a little bit more of a rally upwards again. Stellar Lumens, I've talked about them in the just recently in the past. You can see here they're definitely going sideways on the chart, but that doesn't mean that they're not a coin to keep your eye out on. If you want to check my previous video, you'll get a general idea of why I speculate that coin's a great coin to keep your eye out on for 2018. But interesting enough, guys, here, this coin in particular, NEM, is one I wanted to kind of just briefly go over because, again, we just recently dealt with some negative news here, and I don't want to be redundant, but if you've checked it out, the CoinCheck exchange in Japan had roughly $534 million worth of NEM stolen from one of their hot wallets. And, that is a huge ordeal, a very, very huge ordeal. But interesting enough, out of that ordeal there, we saw what looks to be some selling off the coin after the news, and it just kind of rode off there in regards to a sideways motion for, at least a good almost 24 hours there. However, just recently here, within, I believe today, we saw quite a bit of a buy-in for NEM. So we brought it back up again, to where, even higher to where it was before, that big sell-off there, even after that negative news. Now, I was researching the NEM here a little bit while that, all that negative news came out, and I wanted to see what was driving this coin here to, have people coming back on and being interested in the coin. And if you look here, most of the money that's been recently pumped into this is Korean-based money. So we definitely know Korean-based and Japan-based. We know that it's more Asian money coming into this than anything. So what's the hype about? Well, I would imagine that something like this right here is going to be a potential driving force for that. Now, this is an article from coinsessions.ph, and this is about a company named Pundi. Now, Pundi is a company that deals with POS systems that are basically cash register systems for companies like cafes, diners, bars, and if you've ever been to any kind of cafe where someone comes up to you and they have a tablet and they can take your order and also produce your receipt there so you can sign it, or even have, for example, a QR code, and I'll go over that in just a second. But if you've seen that, then that's basically a representation of a point of sales or POS system for retailers. Now, why I'm bringing this company up, Pundi, is because this company here in particular is trying to integrate NEM as a cryptocurrency point of sales for retail stores. So this is pretty big, because if this particular company who deals with POS devices can incorporate NEM tokens or coins into their system, then that means they're integrating cryptocurrency into retailer markets and making it more accessible for people to come into stores or cafes or diners or bars and spend their crypto on those particular kind of products. So again, this right here is huge in regards to what they're available to do for the public, for the retailing public as well, and merging more of the customer base with retail people, and of course getting more people involved with cryptocurrency. So this is again part of that, I keep saying this over and over, but mass adoption, cryptocurrency mass adoption. This is how we're going to be able to do this, is just simply these kind of integrations here. So this is a great article. I'll leave that in the description so you can do more reading on there. But again, Pundi, I believe that's the name, but they're using QR codes as well as part of their means of being able to transfer or do transactions with customers and their retail shops. Now, I wanted to let you know, most people, if you're not aware of what a QR code is, this right here is what a QR code is. And now, I apologize for this being silly for me to do this, but guys, this is actually my own QR code for my Bitcoin here for example, if you wanted to donate. So you can, if you wanted to donate to my channel here to help me grow, you could just screenshot that and send me whatever you like as a donation. That'd be awesome. But that kind of leads me into my next thing here. Again, I'll leave this article here, but guys, that QR code and this company here using QR codes to do that, as you can see here, there is QR codes allow for cashless payments. So you could literally do a transaction with that code at a retail shop, have paid for your product, and you're done. But this leads me to the last part of this article here, which is this right here. Chinese beggars flock to QR codes to collect money. Now, if you are someone who's ever dealt with or seen any type of homeless people and their interaction with the public, it is, from at least from my standpoint, it's kind of sad to see that, because you understand the circumstances there that are possibly happening in regards to putting them to homeless. I mean, multiple circumstances, but to see that someone's homeless, it is a sad situation. So there are people that will, give money to these people, and now we have people in China, for example, that are doing the homeless means with technology. So whether they're holding a sign up with a QR code on there or not, how they go about it, according to this particular article that was from themerkle.com, this right here is going as far as saying that there are beggars that actually have some really old types of phones that allow them to open up the ability to receive payments, and they even go as far as to say that some of these particular beggars, these street beggars, are using the attachment pieces of phones to allow people to swipe their cards. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say right off the bat, if you want to donate and use your QR code, I can think that that's a fine process to do. I can't see how you're going to be able to be hacked from sending a method of payment via QR codes. But guys, do not, whatever you do not put your credit card to some beggar's phone if they have one of those card readers on there. Just don't do it. That's the fastest way to have your information stolen and your identity possibly stolen and hacked. But again, this article does explain that that's what some of these Chinese beggars are doing. And again, I'm going to tell you guys, just simply don't do that. That again, just if you cherish your money, you cherish your identity, don't do that. Again, you can use a QR code. That's one of the safest methods that these retailers are using, but that's only if you're wanting to give to beggars in that fashion. Now, I'm going to end this off by saying, if someone is begging for money, has the opportunity to have that kind of technology at their hands, I would imagine they should be able to have the means of getting themselves a better way of making money, especially if they're involving themselves with cryptocurrency exchanges through these QR codes. So, guys, tell me what you think about this. I know it's kind of a topic, an interesting topic to talk about when you're talking about homeless people, but I do find it funny that they are trying to merge the technology with homeless people and things such as collecting money through QR codes, because if you think about it, paper money and fiat currencies, they're not being used as heavily and as often anymore. So that's another thing that we're going to start seeing transition here. I mean, technology is just moving into all different facets of life. So again, let me know what you think about this, guys. I apologize for it being long-winded, but this is just very interesting to me to hear. And I know that this right here hasn't necessarily spread out regarding the use of this in a lot of other countries outside of China, but if you start seeing this in your country or your states, let me know. I'd love to read more about that. I just find that very fascinating and interesting. But thanks for being a part of the channel, guys. Be up to date on some of these videos I'm going to be putting out in the very recent future here, because I have some coins I really want to talk about going into for this year, for 2018. So again, be on the lookout for those videos. And again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good night and have a good one. Bye-bye.